Welcome to episode 5. This is going to be all about our downspouts. I just wanted to put a quick disclaimer in before I even get started. This is the first time I've even put together some PVC pipes, let alone put in a downspout system. I did get advised from multiple other videos on YouTube, and then two contractors actually recommended pretty much what I'm doing. Um, so don't take my advice as the right thing to do. It may not be the right thing for you, but hopefully you can learn something. All right, let's get to the video. I also just wanted a reason to throw video toast in here.
Alright, today we're going to be fixing our drainage problem at our new house. So all the downspouts from the house were just running straight into the ground. There was a little 90 off of that, but that was it. And it was driving right next to the house, and that's led to a bunch of wood rot and mold and moisture in the crawl space and all that stuff you don't want. And it's a really easy fix. So I have my pipe mocked up here. Actually, first we'll go over the tools you need. I have a drill to drill, I actually used it to drill out the rivets. And we're going to use it to drill some holes in the bottom of our pipe to make sure no extra water sits in the pipe. You either need some way to cut your pipe. I use the Sawzall with a metal blade actually, which works great at cutting PVC. You're going to need your cleaner and cement for your pipe. A tape measure is helpful, and a level. You could either just make sure the level is a bubble off, so you know you have a slope, or you can use a tape measure and your level to get an actual grade or slope number. So then we'll go over our pipe. So I already have this all mocked up, and I've already made 3 cuts that you'll have to make. So we just have the gutter going straight into this coupler. You could use the actual fitting that goes straight on the downspout, but we chose not to. So we have a clean out as well. So you could fit your hose in this when it's in the ground, and then you could use that to blow out all the leaves or whatever debris and then take it out of the end. So we have that, and we're gonna have to take this apart anyway. So we have a coupler that goes on this piece that I cut. This was 11 inches for me, but just set it up there how high you want it and measure it from this elbow. Like set the elbow on the bottom, set this up here and measure the distance. So then we have an elbow, and then we have our long run. It's a 10-foot run. Then we have, we got the wrong elbow. There's one that goes straight into this pipe. These sewer pipes are flared on one end, so you can fit them inside each other. So if you got the elbow that fits straight into this, that would be better. But we have a little extension to connect these two, and then the elbow going up, and then a little extension, and then a grate on top. So in theory, the water will run up and out of this grate or in the bottom, or out of the bottom of this. We'll put some holes in the bottom of here and the bottom of the pipe. And then looking at our hole, I'm gonna back up a little bit. So our hole, you can see it's about 11, 12 feet long to account for the 10-foot pipe, and then the elbow's in the end. And then at the end of our hole, it's actually deeper and wider. We're gonna put some landscape fabric and rocks in the bottom of there. So we'll get to gluing our pipe up. This is all just dry fitted in there. All right, so we're gonna assemble the first half of our pipe up into the second elbow. You don't wanna do the second elbow because you wanna make sure it's a level with the first one. So we'll do that when it's in the ground, and we could put a level on each end. All right. So make sure you know which side you're supposed to be cleaning and gluing. So this piece goes inside this one. So we want to do the inside of this one and the outside of this one. So we'll use the cleaner first. So we want to do the inside of this one and the outside of this one. And then we want to glue them. So we're going to do the outside of this, the inside of this, and then just shove them together. Make sure it seats down all the way. Alright, and then we'll do the next one. So same with this one. This goes over this, so we'll do the inside and the outside. So do the outside of this one, outside of this one. Had to think about it for a second. Yeah. Outside of this one. Alright, looks like I didn't get enough glue. Can't really use too much glue, it'll just ooze out and this will all be buried, so not like it matters all that much. I'll put that on there. And like this other one, it's only been on a second. That is already like one piece. And then we'll put this elbow onto the long piece. Same with this one, outside, inside, outside. We'll do the outside of this, the inside of this. Do the same with the glue. Inside of this. The outside of this. Alright, I'll make sure this is in there all the way. Hold on for a second. Alright, and the only other piece we could put on is a straight piece that'll go in here, and if you get the right elbow you won't really need this part. Oops. So this one, this one good. This one, so clean this up. Clean this up. This one goes really far down in here, but I don't think I really need to glue the whole thing. I'll just put some on here. And some in here. Slide this in here. Nice and tight. And then we'll move on to putting gravel and getting everything ready in our hole, and then we'll do the other pieces once it's in the hole. Alright, for the next step you're going to need some rocks. We got some river pebbles and river rocks. I don't think it really matters what kind of rocks you get, just some kind of gravelly rock. You're going to need some kind of cloth. You also don't really need this. You could just put rocks straight in the hole, but it'll probably help contain the rocks a little better. And then I'm going to start out with my pipe in the hole. Now come on and look in the hole. So I just put the pipe in here to see kind of the depth I want. This is where I want it to finish. So I'm going to use this. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I want my rocks to come up roughly to the bottom of that. So, or we could even, so we're like 7-8 inches to the top of the hole. So then we'll take this out, move it off to the side for a second. We'll shove this in here. I'm just gonna shove this in here. I don't know if the sides really matter all that much, just that it's at the bottom. So we'll even wrinkle this down here. That's all we want to happen. And then we'll start with, oops, we'll start with rocks. Spread those around a little bit. So in the next step, we're gonna drill holes in the bottom about that long, and this is gonna help it drain. The rocks will drain better than, we have really clay soil here. It'll help it drain a little better than that. And then we'll put some pebbles in. So let's spread these out. And then I'm just gonna use my pipe to test where we're at. I think that's about right. We actually might need to dig a little bit more. I don't know if we're quite gonna fit in here. Oh no, we will. All right, so that fits perfect. We're gonna move on to the next step here in a second, which will be burying the first end of the pipe so we can get it secure so we can do what we need to do down here. Alright, so I skipped this step that might be easier to do earlier, but it really isn't that bad now. I just flipped my pipe over, so this is actually the bottom side of my pipe, and I'm going to drill some holes. So as you saw in the last section, the hole is probably about this far where we have gravel, so I'm just going to drill a bunch of 3/8 is just the biggest size I have on me. We're just going to drill a bunch of holes in this. Alright, then we also want to drill some holes in the bottom of our elbow. So we'll just put a couple in here as well. And then just look at my hole, it goes a little bit farther back. We'll put a couple more in here. Alright. Now, we'll put it in and we'll start burying the front so we can make sure it's solid before we glue on our end pieces. Alright, so now we're going to bury at least the first part of this pipe so it'll stay solid so we can do what we need to do at the end. So we're just gently, we don't want to shift it too much. Alright, so that should be enough to keep this from wiggling too much. So now we can put our elbow and glue it on there. And we'll just go ahead and do that. Can you see me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get our glue, and our sealer, our cleaner. So it'll go inside this one. See me right now? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go, this is inside, and this goes on the outside. See, we don't want it too packed down so I can actually lift it up, but it won't rotate at all. Just what we want. Get some glue. Put it in the inside. Put it on the outside. And then you could get your level out, but I think I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. We're gonna put our next piece in here to make it a little easier. I think that'll look about right. Yeah? Yeah. Can you straighten out that end a little bit? Do you think that'll move? Perfect. Alright, now we'll do the same thing with this riser. This on the outside, this goes on the inside. Inside of this. Alright. Then the last piece is our little grate, which this doesn't glue on. It just kind of bops into place, and that's what will sit flush with the soil. So the only thing I'm going to do next is grab a piece of this cloth and put it over the pipe as well. This step may not be necessary, but it'll help the silt and whatever else from sinking into your rocks and not letting them do their job in filtering. So we'll just put that on there. They'll put dirt straight on there. All right.
That's all there really is to it. The rest of the video is going to be time lapse of doing the other ones. We're only doing 4 of the 7 downspouts we have. 2 of them are in pretty treacherous locations with lots of pipes under them that I think we're going to deal with in the spring. We're just going to put those above ground for the meantime. But hopefully you learned something, and if you want to stick around and watch the time lapse, go for it. If not, I think that's about all of the information you'll need to know to do this yourself. Hopefully this will help.